Hi folks, welcome back to Delboy's Garage. Now it's been a busy week at work, lots and lots of things to catch up on. I've got carry on doing the wood on the trailer, a bit of a boring stage at the moment really, just kind of getting the sides right, getting that wood built up in its tongue and groove and then getting it pressed into place. I've realised that the glue, this stuff that I use, this Evo grip, is brilliant, it's really amazing. But it kind of takes overnight. It says it dries in seconds, well it doesn't, it kind of takes about 24 hours to go rock solid, but then the wood bonds to the steel after 24 hours like it's been there all its time. You know, it just doesn't want to move, it's completely strong, and yet an hour after you put it on it can still be prized off. So I've put the weights on it like I did in the last video and let it bond overnight, which means doing the sides, I don't want to screw the sides in because I've tried this situation of screwing through the tongue and groove, and as you screw through it, what happens is you screw through and the wood just curls up and it only bonds at the screw. So I want to put the glue on, I want to bond the whole lot in place and stick it rather than gluing and screwing. Now I've changed the screws, I took them back, got some more glue for it, I've got some grease for the grease gun to grease the wheel bearings, I've got some bearing dust caps, and deliveries are abound. So we've got a few bits and bobs been delivered. I'm still waiting for some angle iron which I'm ordering from the Bay of E in order to finish the top edge, and generally bits and pieces. But today's going to be a bit boring, I'm afraid. It's just going to be sticking some more of this wood in place. Going to do the front and the back today, and then I can put some weights against them and some wood kind of pressed against them in width. You'll see what I mean as time goes on, so that it holds them in place, and then when they're bonded in 24 hours time I can start to decide to do. I'll stick around, stay tuned and see what happens. Alright, first of all, postage now. I had a few things to do. These things that were just stupid, ridiculous money. Remember these? Knob screws. They're only one packet now, that's it. I've just kept the one packet, really because I haven't got any and I kind of want to keep them. I took the other 3 packets out the 4 back and I exchanged them for some more of this wonderful Evo grip. This is amazing stuff. It's kind of like putty. It's a bit like Bondo filler when it comes out. It's kind of grainy, but it sticks amazingly. It is incredible. So I've got 2 tubes of that. I used 1 tube to do the entire floor section, and that's all the icing over that. The sides are going to be a lot less surface to stick, so they're going to be okay for the sides. 2 should be alright. They're only £4 a tube, that's pretty good. And the other thing, which was pretty fruitful this week, I bought my first tin of grease that I've bought since, God, I don't know, can't get it off at the minute. This stuff, I haven't bought a tin of grease for about 10 years because I don't use a massive amount. 2 seconds. There we go. Nice new fresh tin of grease. Now what I've also done, because I need it for the wheel bearings, I've got a gold grease gun. I got a deal from Machine Mart. Got a splendid new grease gun. I had a grease gun but I left it somewhere where I can't get it back, so that's pretty good. And that wasn't bad. £13 odd. Not a bad deal. It's a nice grease gun. That's got some nice attachments and that will be useful for a few other jobs. So that's going to get plunged into there and then filled up, and then I can do yon wheel bearings and stop them because they're grumbling quite badly because they're bone dry. Pretty much there's no grease in them. And the most important thing, I've now got the dust caps. Now these are brill. The old dust caps broke up and there were metal ones on eBay for about, I don't know, £5–6 a piece, but these were £2.50 for a pair, and they fit perfectly on there when the time comes. I'll take off the masking tape, and then on yon grease nipples, which are around here somewhere, I can just grease them up, and then I've got my dust caps and then matte black already, which is cool. I've even got little air holes in, as you can see. You must have air holes in your dust caps because when they expand and everything gets a bit hot, then the air just escapes out, as opposed to popping the cap out, which they want to do on Land Rovers, Mark 1s especially. So before I do that, some postage. I had a mail letter. Oop. Now this came in the post from Cecil. Thanks mate. Now I haven't really got involved in the Garage Gang thing yet, but I got a request, send me your address and I'll send you a sticker. So this came all the way from the US of A, from my mate Cecil. Now we pronounce that Cecil I think in this country, but Cecil, that's how you say it, so that's cool. And I'm thinking perhaps do them on here, so I might get involved in the old sticker thing. I've got to try and find someone who can print me some up, and I've got to design a Delboy's Garage one. I haven't got anything yet, but I kind of like that. And I've got Rob, my mate in Canada, Razdi for Matter, he's sent me one as well, a magnetic one, and I kind of like this wooden pegboard area on the back of my tool bench, so I might bung them all across there if they stick, or perhaps paint that with something that will make them stick. So there we are. That's all for now. That's Cecil. You can check his channel out. He's building the most incredible Mustang to a standard of building that is way beyond me. Fabricating chassis and fabricating suspension and all sorts. Man's a genius. So there we go. Thanks, Cecil. I appreciate that, buddy. That's going to go pride of place as soon as I got some ways to stick them up. And I need to get some printed and start getting involved in this because the garage gang is pretty cool. So there we are. That's all for now. That's for later. That's for now. These are for now. Let's get some wood stuck. Stick around. Stay tuned. Alright. Wax up your blade, boys, like I said before. Actually, keep the old blade there. Right. Every line. That's the first three. That's the back ready. Okay. Cut the front. Time to bond them in. Little mark. Right, give them the same length. Okay, let's go. Right, second one in, third one's going to be too high, so that's going to have to be ripped down right the way across. Just to measure where. I reckon mark it like that. Cut that one along there. That's going to be fun. Cut right along that line. Nice and parallel. Right. Okay. Squeeze it out. there we are, pretty boring really. That's now got to be left there till that dries, because otherwise it will just fall off. This glue doesn't really grip until it's had a good 24 hours, and I'm not putting screws in it, as I said. So there we are. Clean that up a little bit. I'm going to do the front one, some clamps on that, make this look as if I'm making some progress. Stick around. Alright, now fast forward a little bit now. It's a bit of a mess at this minute. I've had to use these poles just to push, because obviously gravity won't push sideways, and I can't start doing one side at a time and then standing it upright and using the weight. So what I've done is just used the clamps, clamped each one, clamped it till loads has oozed out the back, because I want it proper squeezed on there. This stuff's all about contact. The more you squeeze it, every time you use a bit out, it does stick far better. So I've got it all oozed out the back, all the way along the joint, and the same on the rear, right away, all the way around. All of that just pours out. Just put loads of it on, squeeze it on there nice and hard. A couple of noggins, bits of wood, and I've just, for the bottom, just to press it along there, I've just used these bars. These are bits of tubing. Just use a couple of noggins, little offcuts of wood, just to pack it out, wedge them hard so they're pushing neatly against the back. So the front and back are now done, neatly pushed against. I'll give them 24 or 48 hours. Then I can do the sides, which will also squeeze out and hold them in. And I'm going to order some angle iron to go around the top to make a top frame. I was going to use this tubing, but cutting a slot a centimetre wide to go over the wood, cutting a centimetre slot down the full length of a piece of tubing, you're joking. You need a machine for that, and I mean a milling machine. So doing it with an angle grinder would just eat discs. It'll be a wiggly line and it'll be crap. Not the right way to do it. I'm going to use angle iron, and I've just got to water some. So just got to wait for that to turn up. So there we are. That's it for today. It's time for dryage. So there we are. That's it for part 13. Not very interesting, I'm afraid. This is just a final constructional part of it. It's a bit boring, this bit, but it'll all be made soon, and then I can start decorating. I'm really looking forward to getting the scrim net, the silly chains, the matte black paint, and actually turning it into a rat trailer, because it's never going to be a pretty trailer, that's for sure. This is messy, this stuff. It kind of oozes out everywhere, which is good because it dries, and the Evo stick, as we know, once it dries, is flexible and proper hard and rigid, so it does work quite well. I've got these now, end caps, so I'm going to grease up the bearings next and put the end caps on. That makes the wheels done. Gradually getting there, really, knocking them off job by job, like any project, getting there slowly. So there you go, that's all for today. Thanks again, Cecil, appreciate the sticker. Must get some cut and then start getting into the sticker thing. So that's all for now. That's been part 13. Thanks for watching. Ride safe. See you next time.